Welcome to Wonder School's online story time. I'm Miss Val, and today we are doing a mythical Thursday. Did you hear the TH sound? And it's going to be epic! We are going to hear about a pig that can fly, a sweet little wolf, unicorns that defeat a dragon, and a little girl who is actually a penguin. We are also featuring a book that teaches you how to tell a story while telling a story. Right now, let's talk a little bit about Little Red Riding Hood. Last week we used these puppets and this box to retell the story. Today we are not going to review the story like last time. Today we are going to talk about the 3 elements that make a story a story. And we're going to use Little Red Riding Hood as an example. The first element that makes a story is characters. Who do we have as a main character for this story? It's Little Red Riding Hood, isn't it? And who are the other characters in the story? Well, we have her mother, we have the wolf, and we have Grandma and the woodsman. The second element that makes a story is setting. Element number 2. Setting is the word we use for where a story takes place. In Little Red Riding Hood, we have Little Red Riding Hood's house. We have the forest where she meets the wolf. And we have Grandma's house. And the third element that makes a story is called plot. Plot means what happens in a story. You probably already know that a story has a beginning, middle, and an end. And it also has a couple other parts, and one of them is a bonus word. It's called climax, and that's where the most intense part of the story happens. And in Little Red Riding Hood, we have the beginning of the story, and that happens at Red's house. And her mom asks her to take a basket of goodies to Grandma. And we have the middle of the story, and that takes place in the forest. And that is where Red is picking flowers, and the wolf talks to her and makes a plan. And then we have, at the end of the story, which takes place at Grandma's house, we have Red goes to Grandma's house, and the climax is where the wolf eats Grandma, and now the wolf wants to eat Little Red Riding Hood. Oh no! And the story ends with the woodsman making the wolf barf Grandma up. And then taking the wolf deeper into the forest where he will not hurt anyone else. So, to review, what makes a good story is you need characters, you need the setting, and you need the plot. That's what happens in a story. Last month, our fairy tale was Goldilocks and the 3 Bears. Do you remember how that story goes? That's the plot. And do you remember where it takes place? It only takes place in one location. That's called the setting. And can you name all the characters? Well, it's pretty easy. It's in the title, Goldilocks and the 3 Bears. Do you remember the name of each bear? Well, let's see. We have Papa Bear and Mama Bear and Baby Bear. Good job. Okay, now let's get into our stories for today. And see if, while I'm reading, you can identify the characters, the setting, and the plot for each book. Our first book will be our last Mo Willems book for this month. It is the first book in the Elephant and Piggy Easy Reader series, and it's called Today I Will Fly. Our main characters are a pig named Piggy and an elephant named Gerald. And this book does not have an official setting. It's told in it's told on a white background in kind of like a comic book style, but it definitely has a plot. Will Piggy fly today? Let's find out. Today I Will Fly by Mo Willems. Today I will fly. No, you will not fly today. You will not fly tomorrow. You will not fly next week. You will never fly. I will try. Goodbye. You will not fly. She will not fly. Fly, 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 fly. Fly, 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 fly. You need help. Thank you. I do need help. I will get help. Woof, woof, woof. Woof, woof, woof. Oh, look. Piggy caught some air. I did it! I flew! Thank you for your help. How does Gerald feel about that? Gerald is not amused. You did not fly. I did not fly? You jumped. I jumped? It was a big jump. It was a big jump, wasn't it? Yes, it was a big jump, but you did not fly. I will try again. I will eat lunch. Goodbye. Fly, fly, fly. Oof. Did she fly this time, guys? No. There's another animal that's entering the story. You need help. I do need help. Do you guys think that this animal will help Piggy fly? Will you help me? I will. I will help you. It does have wings. It could help. I don't know. I think this is a pelican maybe. I thought it was a duck at first, but look at its beak. It's not. That's not a normal duck beak. Thank you. Hello? Hello? Well, is Piggy flying? Piggy is in the air, right? You are flying! You are flying today! Gerald thinks Piggy is flying. My friend, she can fly! She can fly! I am not flying. Oh, okay, she's not flying then. You are not flying? I am getting help. Thank you for your help. Tomorrow, I will fly. Good luck. Do you think Gerald will be able to fly tomorrow? Oh, who's that? Do you recognize? It's the pigeon. Do you think the pigeon has gotten to drive the bus yet? Red Riding Hood and the Sweet Little Wolf. Is this the story about Little Red Riding Hood and the Big Bad Wolf? It is not, is it? Once upon a time, there was a big bad wolf who lived in the woods. Well, that's not quite true. Really, she was a sweet little wolf who loved all things pretty and pink, especially fairy tales. She lived with her mom and dad, who were very big and very bad. Mr. and Mrs. Wolf shook their heads. When will you ever learn to be a real wolf like us? It's time you went out to get the dinner. So Sweet Little Wolf set out. She hid behind a tree. I must be clever and cunning, she whispered over and over again as she looked at her mother's list. Dinner: 1 onion, 2 large potatoes, 3 carrots, 1 sprig of rosemary, 1 little girl, tender and juicy. Oh, who's that coming down the path? Just then, Red Riding Hood skipped by on her way to Grandma's house in the woods. Sweet Little Wolf couldn't believe her luck. She scampered slyly and followed her along the path. Red Riding Hood was reading a story out loud. Once upon a time, with a flick of a wand, a girl's rags turned into a beautiful gown fit for a ball. It was a fairy tale. Sweet Little Wolf pricked up her ears and listened. Outside Grandma's cottage, Red Riding Hood finished the story, and they lived happily ever after. Then she went inside. Grandma's house, gone to pick bluebells, Grandma. Sweet Little Wolf felt in her pocket for a handkerchief. Happy endings always made her cry. She pulled out her mother's list. Oh no! What had she been doing? She couldn't go home without dinner. There was only one thing to do. Grandma was out, so Sweet Little Wolf crept into the cottage after Red Riding Hood. So Red Riding Hood is already in the cottage, and she's just sneaking in. She tried her hardest to make a scary face. She pointed her sharp claws. She practiced her best growl in Grandma's bedroom near. Her family would be so proud. Grrr! Grrr! But then she spotted a lovely pink robe and a frilly nightcap on the back of the bedroom door. Sweet Little Wolf couldn't resist trying them on. Oh, so she gets dressed in whose clothes? Grandma's. Suddenly, she heard Red Riding Hood in the next room. The girl was reading again. Once upon a time, a girl was rescued from a tower in the middle of a forest by a handsome prince. Sweet Little Wolf lay down in Grandma's soft, cozy bed. She would just listen to one more story. Then she would be a real wolf. So she falls asleep in Grandma's bed, in Grandma's clothes. Soon Red Riding Hood heard a strange noise coming from Grandma's bedroom. Snuffle, grunt, snort. Snuffle, grunt, snort. She was surprised. Grandma was supposed to be picking bluebells in the woods. Why was she snoring in bed? She looked closer. Oh, Grandma, what big eyes you have, and what big teeth. Do you think that Sweet Little Wolf is going to eat Red Riding Hood? Let's find out. Red Riding Hood pulled back the covers and screamed. It was the big bad wolf! Help! She shouted. Wolf! A woodcutter heard Red Riding Hood's cry and ran toward the cottage as fast as he could. But Sweet Little Wolf didn't leap out of bed and chase Red Riding Hood. She hid under the covers and sobbed great big tears. I don't want to be a big bad wolf, she cried. I want to listen to fairy tales. Red Riding Hood felt sorry for Sweet Little Wolf. She told the woodcutter that she was perfectly safe and wrote a letter in her very best handwriting. Dear Mr. and Mrs. Wolf, once upon a time there lived a little wolf that didn't want to eat girls. She loved all things pretty and pink and dreamed of being a good, kind wolf. So this story has a different ending. A happy ending. Best wishes, Red Riding Hood. This says friends. Sweet Little Wolf ran home with Red Riding Hood's letter. Mr. and Mrs. Wolf were delighted to have their little wolf back. They had been worried, particularly when they heard about the woodcutter from their forest friends. It doesn't matter that you aren't a big bad wolf. We love you just the way you are, said Mrs. Wolf, tucking her into bed. Little Wolf fell fast asleep, dreaming of princesses and magical lands and lovely little girls. Well, she was a wolf after all. This is a good story. So we have this girl, and she is writing a story, and we are going to read the story that she's writing, and she's writing it as we're reading it. Our story begins with hero, or is it heroine? Both? Yes, that works. Both. Let's try that again. Our story begins with hero and heroine. They live in a good town filled with good people called our setting. It looks like all is well in setting. There's lots of animals, and there's buildings, and the sun is shining. As with any good story, ours has a conflict, a problem that needs fixing. And it's a good thing too, because without a conflict, there would be no plot. Our story would go nowhere. Like it is right now. See, it's kind of boring right now. They're just, like playing jump rope, and he's just riding a scooter, right? What is the conflict, you ask? What do you think her conflict should be? What do you think the problem should be? Oh, our setting is under attack by a really bad guy. And not just any really bad guy, an evil overlord. That's not an evil overlord. Come on. That's barely a creepy sidekick. She's got to up her game here. Ah, that's an evil overlord. Much better. Thank you. He looks pretty evil, doesn't he, guys? Now, where was I? Oh, right. Under attack. The people of our setting fight valiantly, but evil overlord's armies are too numerous. All the townsfolk are captured. Except hero and heroine, who just happen to be rescuing lost ducks in the town of Very Convenient. They return to our setting empty. Oh, they return to find our setting empty. The library is dark. The candy store is closed. It is devastating. What should they do? Luckily for the captured townsfolk, hero and heroine are people of action. What are they doing? Well, he's got a vacuum cleaner, right? And she has a broom? Is that what they should be doing? Cleaning up the town? Seriously, what kind of action is that? This is a dramatic point in the plot. Our conflict is building. The action here will determine the course of the rest of the story. Try again. Hero and heroine dash off to Evil Lair to rescue the townsfolk. Evil Lair. Unfortunately, Evil Lair is not close. It is a long, dangerous climb up a dark and stormy mountain. Up and up and... Oh no! The gate is heavily guarded. Thinking quickly, Hero distracts the guard, who turns, trips, and thunk. Hero and heroine race through Evil Lair. At last they reach a gate labeled Dungeon. No, no, no! labeled, as in clearly marked with a sign. This is the most exciting part of the story. It's the climax. Just turn the page. Hero and heroine burst into the dungeon. The townsfolk cheer. Hero and heroine have saved the day. But not for long. What do you guys think is next? Uh-oh. Evil Overlord has returned. Head to the end, heroine shouts. The final battle is epic. They fight to the right. They fight to the left. Soon, Evil Overlord is surrounded. There is no escape. That sign says no escape. Victorious, hero and heroine join the townsfolk at the end. There is much rejoicing. Wow, this is a good story. Do you guys think she did a good job writing this story? Is it how you would have written this story? Or is it? What is happening here? She wrote something extra. Here is Evil Overlord and creepy sidekick is cutting the chains. Oh, what do you think should happen next? It looks like this story ends, but you could write the next part of this story. Unicorns are the worst. Look at this. It's glitter. Oh, he's sweeping the glitter. He doesn't like it. For hundreds of years, I have gone about completing my important goblin business in peace. From documenting spells, to gathering ingredients for spells, to alphabetizing the ingredients I've gathered for spells. No distractions, no interruptions, just me and my work. But guess who decided to move into the meadow next door? Who do you guys think decided to move into the meadow next door? Say it. Unicorns! Now, I know what you are going to say. Unicorns are the best. Unicorns are magical, blah, blah, blah. That's true, but a lot of things are magical, and like elves and fairies and what's the other one? Elves, fairies, and oh right, goblins. I have studied the forgotten magic that lies deep within the earth. I know spells that can transform socks into slugs. I can turn broccoli into ice cream. Still tastes like broccoli. And I have mastered the 3-strand braid. But despite all of this, does anyone ever ask to have a goblin-themed birthday party? Oh, look. Unicorn ring toss. Tub glitter. Oh, unicorn pencil toppers. Pencils. And party supplies. A bouncy house. Meanwhile, all unicorns do is frolic around all day on their dainty unicorn hooves. Frolicking isn't even hard. Goblins can frolic, we just choose not to. Horse plus pointy equals unicorn. I don't get it. They are just horses with pointy heads. I have pointy ears, but you don't hear me carrying on about it. And the glitter, so much glitter. Do you realize how hard it is to get glitter out of a smock? They are constantly playing their instruments. Newsflash, unicorns, not everyone likes harp music. And the tea parties, so many tea parties. It's not like they ever ask me to one of their tea parties. Not that I would have time for tea parties when there is all this important work to be done. It's not like the shrub is going to document itself. Do I enjoy a good cup of tea? Perhaps the occasional crumpet? We'll never know, because someone around here has to take their work seriously. You know what? I wouldn't go to one of their silly tea parties, even if they did ask me. You know why? There's some eyes in the forest. Do you guys want to guess whose eyes those are? Because unicorns are the worst! I would rather be neighbors with gnomes, or this dragon, or a chicken, or a... Wait a minute! What's behind him? Dragon! Run for your lives! Save yourselves, my little sock slugs! Gulp! What do you guys think is going to happen to the goblin? Do you think the dragon is going to eat him? Or do you think that he will be rescued? Who is rescuing him? Well, I guess unicorns do have some good traits. For instance, did you know that their glitter can put out dragon fire? And that harp music can be quite disorienting. Those dainty hooves pack quite a wallop. And it turns out a unicorn's horn is more than just pointy. All right, fine. As far as neighbors go, unicorns aren't that bad. But I think that we can all agree dragons are the worst. Here's some more glitter. Okay, so you may have noticed that I did not read one of the stories that I mentioned in the beginning of our talk. And that is because I try to keep story time limited to around 30 minutes. So I totally understand if you need to go right now. But I really wanted to include this last book because it's so cute and it's overdue at the library. So I need to turn it in as soon as possible. Okay, so here we go for our last bonus content book. I am actually a penguin. Hello, this is what I look like as a little girl. But sometimes I'm a pretty princess, an incredible pirate or a terrible witch. And last week, I got a new outfit. Now I'm a penguin. I liked being a penguin so much that I wore my outfit to the supermarket. When Mom asked, "Do you want spaghetti or lasagna?" I said, "Penguins don't eat spaghetti or lasagna." Mom said, "You're not actually a penguin." But she was wrong. I was actually a penguin all the way back home. I was actually a penguin the next day. Oh, look it. What is she doing here? Do some of you guys just finished up this soccer season? Oh, and the next. Have you been to the zoo this year? Maybe, maybe not. They have a penguin exhibit, don't they? My brother had to get used to sharing the sofa with a penguin. "Why have you put toilet paper everywhere?" he asked. "It's snow," I told him. "I am actually a penguin, and this is how penguins chill out." He said, "Penguins are dumb." And I said, "Penguins are cool." He didn't argue with that. But he did like it when I was a penguin at our aunt's wedding. Oh man, she was a flower girl. And there she is. What is she doing in that picture? Can you tell? She has an ice bucket. And she's dumping the ice bucket on her head. She is dancing here and dancing here. And she is sliding on the table. Most people didn't seem to mind, but I did get mistaken for a groomsman in that picture. My mom kept saying I was going to break something when I slid down the stairs. And she wasn't happy when I answered the telephone and didn't actually say anything because penguins can't talk. "Hello? Hello?" My dad tried telling me to wear pajamas, but he got used to giving his goodnight kiss to a penguin. I did get my brother to throw me fish sticks. I thought I could catch them in my beak, but it was tricky. Dad said, "Listen, everyone loves your costume, but you're not actually a penguin." I said, "I am actually a penguin." What do you guys think? Is she actually a penguin? Then Monday morning came. That meant I had to go to school. Mom told me, "You'll have to take off that costume now." My brother said, "You can't go to school dressed like that." Dad said, "Your penguin suit needs to be washed." I never wanted to stop being a penguin, but I thought they might be right. So I took off the penguin outfit. And I decided I am actually an alligator. She's doing a little alligator dance there. Do you have any costumes at your house? And do you like to wear them around the house? Have you ever worn one on an errand when you went shopping? All right. Thank you so much for tuning into our online story time. It's been so fun creating these for you guys, and I miss you, and I can't wait to see you in person, which will be very soon. So bye for now, and I'll see you next week.